free throw attempts, and the Knicks had only 17 free throw attempts. Mike Brown's post-game comments presented by Chase.
You know, we have to be better with our fouling. We can't expect them to shoot 34. I mean, they doubled us in free throw attempts. And, you know, I obviously haven't watched the film, so I'm not sure if all of them were fouled or not, but we can't expect them to go to the free throw line 34 times and us to, you know, get a win the way we did. So we have to be better keeping them off the free throw line. But, you know, I give our guys credit. You know, they tried to do the right thing against a guy like Maxey. You got to keep giving multiple effort. He just doesn't stop. Against Joel, you got to make sure that you keep trying to show your hands and stay down on his shot fakes because those two guys together are a load, and individually they're a load. But you know, our guys tried as best they can to keep giving multiple efforts. McHale and Deuce versus Maxey, and you know, I got to give Ariel Huckporty credit. You know, we were in early foul trouble, and Ariel came off the bench, and you know, he wasn't expected to play, obviously, and he did a solid job. You know, you're not going to stop a guy like Joel or Maxey. You just hopefully make them work without fouling them, and Ariel did a pretty good job in that area. Offensively, our guys were really good. You know, all of our guys were really efficient from the floor. You know, Jalen with the 35, you know, OG on 8 shots, he gets 18 points. You know, Cat gets 17 points on 11 shots. McHale gets 17 points on 10 shots. So they were all really efficient with their scoring and shooting. And you know, you like the fact that on the 53 buckets we had 34 assists. We've talked about those guys in transition. We know that they're going to come even, you know, harder in transition. Our guys did a good job trying to get back and limit their transition break. They had 3 fast break points. And then, you know, at the end of the day, one of the signs, you know, to see how hard we're playing is what are we, you know, when it comes to, where are we when it comes to the 50-50 balls. And, you know, there were 16 of them out there, and our guys got 14 of them. So great job trying to be the first on the ground and to get after the 50-50 balls throughout the course of the game.
Mike, percentages aside offensively, which were absurd for your team, as you mentioned, it just seems like this group has gotten to like a flow state where it's next action, guys cutting, guys moving. I know for you that was so important coming in to your tenure here. What's it been like for you to see this group get to that point where it just feels like things are a little bit more natural offensively and flowing that way?
You know, it's a lot of fun when you have concepts on either end of the floor, and the guys are trying to embrace those concepts at the highest level. And when they do, it doesn't really matter, you know, what you call or who initiates the action, because guys are trying to play the right way, and these guys are pros, and it'd be any team out on the floor, if they're trying to, you know, embrace what you're throwing out there, and they're sacrificing and believing, and they're connecting and all that other stuff. It can be a lot of fun to watch.
Coach, Jalen really got going early, and you had him, like, was really effective in the pick and roll when you involved in Embiid. I mean, what did you see there, and why that was so effective?
Yeah, you know, our guys did a good job of setting screens for him, and Jalen's pace and his, you know, change of speed, all that stuff with the basketball was really good. And you know, they like to play in a drop, and you know, he was able to come off and get a couple of pocket threes because you know, we had good screens, and you know, and when he did that, made him come up the floor a little bit, and then he was able to get by him. But when we touched the paint, if you know, if help came, we did a pretty good job playing off a 2 and spraying it, which meant the next time down, guys would stay home a little bit more, and now you can get the opportunity to finish. So, you know, Jalen was really good as the head of a snake, but you know, the guys behind it, setting the screen, making sure we're spaced the right way, being ready to make a quick decision when that ball got sprayed. That was all.
And coming off those screens, when he has a little bit of an advantage, the defender's a little bit behind him, you're in deep trouble. You better bring help, or else he's going to turn the corner, get into the paint. We know he's an elite finisher when he gets his feet set in the paint, or he can kick it out to his teammates. Overall, like, Philly's going to have to make some serious adjustments to try to slow this Knicks team down. I think the one adjustment they're going to do is whenever Jalen catches the ball, we need to have two guys going after him. We cannot let him get off the way he got off in this game, because then the floodgates open and we're in deep trouble.
How about Cat? Played only 20 minutes,
Yeah.
17 points, 6 more assists. Career average assists per game we talked about in the pregame, only 3. He's at 6 for these playoffs, last handful of games, 6 more tonight. He also had 6 rebounds, despite picking up 3 first-half fouls.
He's got to be careful with those fouls. That's one thing Cat and Mitchell Robinson can learn, is you can't put Embiid on the free throw line. You could see Embiid wants no part of finishing around the rim, knocking down field goals. He wants to get to the free throw line, get fouled, and earn cheap points. And conversely, Karl Anthony Towns continued to attack the bigs of Philadelphia. Drummond and Embiid are not the quickest big guys. They're big plotters, they're good rebounders, they're big bodies, but look at the quickness advantage that Karl Anthony Towns has over these guys. And then continue to involve him in the offense, put the ball in his hands, whether it's to knock down shots like that or to pass and facilitate. You can see what a big-time weapon he can be, passing the ball and running the offense through him.
Alan Hahn back from across the street. You know, we did talk about the fact that the expectation was that Philly would be somewhat fatigued after what happened, having to play Game 7 in Boston about 48 hours ago. But I don't know that anybody saw this coming.
No, not this. That second quarter was special, and what Jalen Brunson was able to do in that first half was also special. Think about this. It's the second highest first half a Knick players had in the playoffs, and Jalen has the highest. So it just shows you the difference that he can make. And what Wally was talking about is exactly what you saw, is the gravity of everything happening offensively and the other players that can do things away from Brunson that now makes you have to. I go back to what Quinn Snyder said, the Atlanta Hawks coach. He said it's pick your poison with this team. It's you can't take it all away. You've got to hope some guys miss shots. And right now, nobody's missing shots. I mean, that's the one thing that you're noticing is OG Anunoby. Now Mikal Bridges is part of the act.
Deuce.
Everybody, when they're open, is knocking down shots, and that's what makes this offense so devastating.
Yep, no question.
All right, how about the defense leading offense? We saw a lot of that. And they're doing some things in transition that we haven't always seen, because the defense, Alan, hasn't always been at this level. But the defense is at such a level that it's really helping them on offense.
It's the swarming that you're seeing. It's the second play energy that you're seeing from players. It's a lot of times not the guy guarding the ball, but somebody helping that gets the deflections, that gets the blocks and the steals. Through 3 quarters, they had 7 steals and 5 blocks. And that's not counting, of course, garbage time in the 4th quarter. But I thought, we just saw Josh Hart now on 2 plays, and while I thought his energy